Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been touting an ambitious plan to create a trillion-dollar utopia in the desert, known as Neom. The project envisions a futuristic city built from scratch, complete with high-tech infrastructure, renewable energy, and a focus on innovation and sustainability. While the vision of Neom may seem like a positive step for Saudi Arabia and the world, recent revelations about the country's deals with China have raised concerns about the true nature of the project and its potential impact on human rights, the environment, and global politics. In today's video, we will be showing you the dark side of Saudi Arabia's trillion-dollar utopia in the desert. Deals with China exposed. Without further ado, let's begin. China has become a key partner in the development of Neom, with the two countries signing a series of agreements worth billions of dollars in areas such as energy, finance, and infrastructure. However, these deals have come under scrutiny for their potential human rights violations, environmental damage, and geopolitical implications. One of the most controversial aspects of the Saudi-China partnership is the use of Chinese labor in the construction of Neom. China has a poor track record when it comes to labor rights, with reports of forced labor, exploitation, and human trafficking in various industries. Critics argue that the use of Chinese labor in the construction of Neom could lead to similar abuses, as workers are brought in under questionable conditions and may be forced to work long hours for low pay. This raises serious concerns about the welfare of these workers and the potential for human rights violations in the construction of the project. In addition to concerns about labor rights, the development of Neom has also raised environmental concerns. The project is expected to involve massive construction and infrastructure projects in an ecologically sensitive area, raising concerns about damage to the local ecosystem and wildlife. The use of renewable energy in the project has also been called into question, as Saudi Arabia is still heavily reliant on fossil fuels for its energy needs. Critics argue that the focus on renewables in the project is more about image than substance, and that the project will have a negative impact on the environment regardless of its energy sources. Another issue with the Saudi-China partnership is the geopolitical implications of the project. China has been seeking to expand its global influence in recent years, and the partnership with Saudi Arabia offers a way for the country to increase its presence in the Middle East. This has raised concerns about the potential for China to use the project as a way to extend its political and economic influence in the region, potentially at the expense of other countries and their interests. Overall, the dark side of Saudi Arabia's trillion-dollar utopia in the desert is a complex issue with serious implications for human rights, the environment, and global politics. While the project may offer some positive benefits in terms of innovation and sustainability, the use of Chinese labor, environmental damage, and geopolitical implications raise serious concerns that cannot be ignored. As the project moves forward, it will be important for the international community to closely monitor its progress and hold all parties involved accountable for their actions. This will require a concerted effort from governments, NGOs, and concerned citizens around the world to ensure that the project is developed in a way that respects human rights, protects the environment, and promotes peace and stability in the region. The Neom project has been marketed as a new model for sustainable urban development, but the reality of the situation is far more complicated. The project is being led by the Crown Prince, who has been accused of human rights abuses and authoritarianism, and who has been heavily criticized for his role in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. This has led many to question the true motivations behind the Neom project, and whether it is truly about creating a sustainable and innovative city, or simply a way for the Crown Prince to consolidate power and increase his own wealth and influence. The partnership with China is also troubling given China's own human rights record and its use of economic leverage to exert political influence in other countries. There are concerns that China's involvement in the Neom project could lead to increased pressure on Saudi Arabia to align with China's interest on the global stage, potentially at the expense of human rights and democratic values. Furthermore, the Neom project is also raising concerns about the displacement of local communities and the impact on traditional ways of life. The project is set to be built in an area that is home to several Bedouin tribes, who are concerned about the impact of the project on their way of life and their rights to land and resources. There are also concerns about the impact of the project on the wider region, particularly in terms of water resources. The project is set to be built in an area that is already facing severe water shortages, and critics argue that the massive infrastructure projects involved in the Neom project could exacerbate the water crisis and have negative impacts on neighboring countries. Despite these concerns, the Neom project continues to move forward, with the Saudi government investing heavily in the development of the city and touting its potential benefits for the region and the world. However, it is clear that there are serious issues that need to be addressed if the project is to live up to its promise of being a sustainable and innovative model for urban development. The international community has a role to play in ensuring that the Neom project is developed in a way that respects human rights, protects the environment, and promotes peace and stability in the region. This will require a concerted effort from governments, NGOs, and concerned citizens around the world to hold all parties involved accountable, and to ensure that the project is developed in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few. One of the key challenges facing the Neom project is the need to balance economic development with environmental sustainability. The project has been marketed as a model for green and sustainable urban development. But critics argue that the massive infrastructure projects involved in the project could have negative environmental impacts, particularly in terms of water usage and pollution. There are also concerns about the impact of the project on wildlife and natural habitats in the region. The area around the proposed site for the Neom city is home to a number of rare and endangered species, including sea turtles, dugongs, and Arabian leopards, and there are fears that the construction of the city and associated infrastructure could lead to the destruction of these habitats and the loss of these species. Another issue facing the Neom project is the question of financing. The project is estimated to cost over $500 billion, and it is not clear where all of this funding will come from. While the Saudi government has committed significant resources to the project, there are concerns that the government may be overstretching itself financially, and that the project could ultimately prove unsustainable. The Saudi government has been criticized for its lack of transparency and accountability in the past, and there are fears that the massive amounts of money involved in the Neom project could lead to abuses and a lack of oversight. Overall, the Neom project represents a complex and multifaceted challenge for Saudi Arabia and the international community as a whole. Ultimately, the success or failure of the Neom project will depend on the ability of all parties involved to work together to create a truly sustainable and innovative model for urban development, one that respects the rights of local communities, protects the environment, and promotes economic growth and prosperity for all. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.